Hello, this is Dr. Beth Cudney, and in this video we're going to be talking about a flowchart, which you've also probably heard referred to as a process flowchart or a process flow diagram. A flowchart is a way of going through a process in sequential order and identifying all the steps within the process. So when we do that, we're including information like the inputs to the system, which could be materials or services, and then our outputs, which would be the final deliverable. It could be information that happens on the process. It could be people that we're bringing into the process or time that's involved in each step of the process. So as I go through a flowchart, sometimes referred to as a process flow diagram, I want to do this with my team, and I want to do it out in the GMBA. The GMBA is GMBA, and it's a term that's a lean term that represents where the actual work is happening. I want people to go out, walk the process flow, see the process, and document it together as a team. And so you're capturing all the steps and all the inputs and the outputs at various steps along the way. What this does is it starts showing our problem areas where things could go wrong. I might be doing things 2 and 3 times, and those are opportunities for improvement where I could eliminate redundancies or any unnecessary steps. I can start identifying places that I can simplify the process, or where I need to standardize the process by putting things like standard operating procedures in place. What I'm capturing with my flow chart is the current actual flow. And this is interesting because typically what happens is you go out and you watch a process, and how you think it flows is never how it actually flows. And so you've got a mess of different steps oftentimes, and you're capturing the true reality of the process. What you can do then is identify the ideal flow. How should things flow in the process? And you can do that gap analysis between the actual and the ideal to identify your process improvement activities so you can reach that ideal flow. And so you're identifying how you can make those improvements. In addition, when you go through your process flow chart, you're capturing places, locations, or steps in your process where you can gather additional information or data for your process improvement projects. The flow chart is a tool that every single team should use. Anytime you're doing a green belt or a black belt project, you should go through and create a flow chart to understand the process. For the flow chart, there's several different common symbols that are used. The oval represents any input to the system. This could be materials, information, or actions. It also represents the outputs of a process. Likewise, your outputs could be material, information, or actions that come out of that process. The rectangles are specific activities or tasks that are being performed. The diamonds are where you're making decisions within a process, so it's going to be a yes or no decision. And the circle represents a break in the flow chart. Flow charts get pretty long, and so it could be that as you're documenting it, you run out of room as you go down one line of the various steps because you're capturing these and connecting them with arrows. And typically what I do then is when I have a flow chart and I run out of room, I will label it with, say, an A as I go through the steps in my process. And when I need to go through the next group, I use that connector as an A. I do the A, B, C, D because I might be capturing information and data. Now, if I look at a process, I could have inputs like a casting. My next step in the process could be machining the Z-plane. And then I could have a decision point where I perform an inspection and say it's good or it's bad. If it's good, it moves on. If it's bad, then oftentimes I've got to go back and restart the process. I hope you found this video on flowcharts informative. Please check out my other videos on the remaining 7 basic quality tools. Thank you for watching.